Hey everyone, welcome to today's video, and in this video we'll be talking about the recent India-UK free trade agreement that has been signed. So we'll be talking about three main points. First, we'll be discussing about what is FTA and is it worth the hype. Second, we'll be talking about the specific measures that has been taken in the agreement related to services, products and tariffs, etc. And third, we'll be talking about how it is going to impact Indian economy, markets in general, in short term and the long term. So let's get started. So first, we'll be talking about the what is a free trade agreement. So this is nothing but simply an arrangement or an agreement between two or more countries to reduce the tariffs and open up their markets for easier goods and services trades. So this is India's first major FTA with any developed economy in the world in over a decade. And for the UK, it is one of the largest bilateral trade pact since the Brexit, which signals that the UK is moving towards countries outside of the European Union for trade. So these are the reasons why this is so much of the hype in the recent days. So now let's discuss about the different measures that have been taken in this agreement on different sectors. So if we look at this table, we can see easily what are the sectors and what were the pre-FTA tariff and what are the tariffs that are just after the FTA takes effect. So if you talk about specific sectors like textiles, footwears, gems, pharma, chemicals and engineering goods, these are like the 0% immediate tariffs that have been taken place after the FTA has announced. And if we look at the other sectors, which is more in the discussion like the UK Scotch whisky and other passenger cars, cosmetics and aerospace parts, etc. So these are some of the sectors in which the tariffs have been decreased, but there are certain quotas that have been imposed, and these quotas are going to take place year on year. So these will be starting from this year till 2030. So in the next 5 years, these things are going to take place. Okay, so if we talk about the macroeconomic impacts on both the countries, which is UK and India. So this is the official UK government page, and here we can see that the import duty reductions are expected to double to 900 million pounds after 10 years, and there is a bunch of data that we can see about the UK exports increasing and the UK imports increasing from India. Also, if we look at the GDP itself, it is expected that the UK government estimates that FTA will increase its GDP by 4.8 billion pounds, and Indian exports are going to double by 2030. So these are the major macroeconomics projections that have been discussed recently. So now we'll be discussing about the short-term and the long-term effects of this FTA agreement on Indian markets and Indian economy. So first, if we discuss about the short-term impact, we can see that the tariffs that have been imposed, which is like 0% immediately for sectors like textile, chemicals, gems, pharmaceuticals and the other sectors that we have talked. So we can see that we can immediately see the stock price going up for all these sectors. And the second, if we talk about here in these, we can see the fluctuations. So first is going to be the currency of the INR. So it is expected that the Indian government is going to forego the customs revenue of more than 4,000 crores in the first year of this agreement. So this is one of the short-term sign that Indian rupee is going to go down compared to the pound or the USD, but in the long term we can see it is going to go up depending how the country performs as a whole. So here we can see a bit of fluctuations. Second, we can see the fluctuations in the consumer price. So the sectors that we have talked about, be it passenger cars, for example, the Land Rover, I think it is going to do pretty good, but in the short terms, because of the quotas that have been imposed, which is around 10,000 unit, and depending on the car type, which is if it is an EV or a petrol or diesel car. So because of this, we can see consumer prices fluctuations in the short term and the long term both. And third, if we have a look at the long term, so we can see that the GDP growth and the economic expansion to be increasing in the long term, because the trade is going to increase significantly between these two nations in the upcoming years. And the service sector expansion, so this is about the employment of Indian individuals in UK. So there are several steps that has been taken about the social security in the short term, that is about 3 years no social security to be paid, and for other sectors like IT and different small sectors as well, there are some measures that have been taken for the relocation of employees from India to UK. So I think that's all these things pretty much sum up all the measures that have been taken and how it is going to affect Indian and the UK economy. Mostly it is good for both the nations, but for India, it can be a pivotal role, and it can provide good growth opportunities for small businesses for India as well to export their products and services in the UK. So that's it for today's video. See you in the next one.